What's up, guys? This is Paloma Ford, and you're checking out my boy, David Duane.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star like David Duane in the place to be, My Fierce Wings Radio. Yes, right now we've got our girl, Paloma Ford, on with us. Now, if y'all don't know who Paloma is, oh my gosh, where have y'all been? Paloma has been, had records with Meek Mill. I mean, she's doing her thing out in L.A. Tone is on 1000, and she's here with us. What's going on, Paloma?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
No problem. It's actually good to reconnect with you because we met before last year in L.A.,
yes.
kind of brief. So yes. It's really good to, have you on the show because, Jada was a great record, and, it still is. It got a great response, and, you got this brand new EP out. So I'm just so great to have you.
Thank you. I'm super excited. Jada was the starting point, and it's funny because, a good song is just a good song, and that's still people's favorite, or at least top two on the project, so that's a good thing.
And how would you say you're feeling regarding the success of that record being your first introduction, formal introduction, I would say?
Well, it just feels good, I didn't really put any expectations other than, really hoping that people would, just start, getting interested in me as an artist on my own and not, so much of the association with, the, different artists that I've worked with. So, that's what the main focus was for me with Nearly Civilized, was to just really cement my own sound and, get people familiar with Paloma Ford.
And would you say it was kind of difficult, kind of transitioning to your sound?
Not really. It wasn't difficult, and I think it's a blessing anytime, an artist reaches out and, is interested in having me collaborate with them. So, I'll never pass up a great opportunity. But, at a certain point, you can either just, get caught up in doing that stuff or take the time for yourself. And, that's what I had to do. So it was all in timing, and I feel like it worked out perfectly as best as it could, and so I'm happy.
So let's definitely talk about this EP because I absolutely love it. It's getting great response, from the media, music lovers. Let's talk about this EP.
Well, talk to me. What do you want to know?
How did it all how did this body work? Come about? Just getting. I know we just kind of talked about finding your sound and really getting into it, but necessarily this project because you had other singles out before, but what was it like working on this?
Well, honestly, if you have followed me at all, not you per se, but anyone, you will know that a couple of the songs, including Jada, Hit of You, those two songs in particular, I had already put out, and they were just they were songs that people were really, really gravitating to, and it was songs that just had to be on the project. So really, this is just kind of like an introduction for me. I have so many records, and we just kind of had to narrow it down. I've been working with my producers for 4 years, and we had just gone through just the process of really trying to find a unique sound for yourself, and I'm actually planning on putting a deluxe version of Nearly Civilized with 3 more songs, but I wanted to keep it as an EP initially, so people could just take their time with it and not be so overwhelmed by so many songs that they overlook a song that they might otherwise be super interested in. So that's kind of how we chose to do this time.
So with this EP, you have a lot of visuals that accompanies your sound and like that. What was it that made you say, let's make sure we have enough visuals with this project?
Yeah, I feel like the visuals are the fun part for me. I'm a visual person, so, it always helps me to understand, understand things when I can visually see it. And I think that it was really important for me to, give my perspective of a song because, everybody has a different perspective when you listen to a song. And, so I actually have one or two more visuals coming out in the next month. And, like I said, I enjoy doing visuals so much. So I wanted to make sure that I could give my fans a full dose of what Nearly Civilized meant to me.
Absolutely. And can I tell you that my favorite is Do It Again? Like, I just love the concept behind it. Tell me about, the inspiration behind that record, because I really feel like a lot of people can really connect with that if they've ever been in that situation before.
For Do It Again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the producers that I worked with, Black Tuxedo, they actually wrote that for me. And I think it was just kind of like, them knowing me, and seeing, like, how much hard work that I put in and, just my hustle and, just really not giving up. And I come into the studio and they had, like, the first verse and hook written for me. And, yeah, it's just, a girl especially in the music industry, I would have to say I feel like we work twice as hard, and it's really about not giving up and not ever doubting yourself. And that's just really what it was for me. It's like, here I am now, and I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep going. So
exactly. And what
wake up and do it again.
Yup. And what would you say, like, keeps you, like, so encouraged to go ahead and do it again? Because, like, being a woman in the industry is definitely a lot harder than it being a man. Like, us men, we can get over it easily. Like, oh, okay, cool. But for a woman, it's definitely difficult.
I get asked this all the time, and I just think that, if this is what you're meant to do, it's what you're meant to do. I can't lie and say that every day I wake up and I'm like, so happy to do this because it is a business, and, it gets discouraging sometimes, but, I just have such a pure love for what I do, and, I know that I'm so blessed to be in a position that I am, and I think that that's what, that's what keeps me going is like, there's so many people, trying to even get in my position, and I'm in the early stages of my career, and, but it's so hard to break through. So, even on those days when, I feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much, it's just like, okay, at the same time, I am blessed to wake up every day and, and be an artist and create. So that's such a blessing, and I wouldn't give that up for the world.
Absolutely. And one thing I can definitely say I know about you just from, like, us meeting before, when it comes to, like, getting in the studio, off the bat what you want, that direction, that sound that you want. Did it take a while to get to that point, or did you, like, just kind of ultimately know this is who Paloma is and this is what I want to give, period, off of that?
I think I always come into the studio with a certain idea in mind. Like I've said in, other interviews, every time I do a song, I'm always trying to create a vibe, create a moment that people can live in, in my song. And, I try to make the lyrics and everything as raw as possible so people really can relate, exactly to what I was, going through in the moment to make that song. But like I said, I work with really talented people, and sometimes I come in and they already have some shit, for me that's like, just knowing me, and, and then, sometimes I come in and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm trying to give off. So like, let's create around that. So yeah, the creative process is different, but most of the time I can say I'm pretty sure, what I want to come in and create.
Right. And that's definitely an important thing that you know already, like what you want to, go for, like sound wise, look wise, like everything with your brand, because that's so important. A lot of people just, wing it, going in the studio, and then they finesse it later, then it just plays out for them. But I love how you like, this is my direction that I want to go. Oh, you guys got something? Okay, let me, see what you guys got. Maybe we can add on to this, and maybe we can just rock out with it. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, I've been doing this for a really long time, so don't get it twisted. It wasn't like that when I was 19, but
right.
You start to figure things out if you're really serious about it, and it kind of separates the people that make it and the people that just kind of don't really get to that next level. Like, people don't, it's a professional business, and people don't have time to figure things out for you, so it definitely helps when you know exactly what you want.
Exactly. And what would you say to like somebody who is coming into the industry that wants to do music but they don't necessarily know what they want? What are some key things that you would say to them? Is the absolute must?
I would say take the time to really, know what you want, know who you are as an artist, what the message that you're trying to give, and then, stick to that, and don't let other people alter you, but at the same time, be open to things, and, it's all a learning process, but, make sure that this is something that you really, really want to do, because, it's not just loving to sing. It's really a business, and, people will chew you up and spit you out. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. So, got to be strong. You got to have thick skin. Be willing to take criticism and hear a lot more no's than yeses. Right.
Yeah, I definitely try to tell people that big one, because it's not going to be an easy thing, and then you're going to have a lot of people say, no, let's not let's do this. I think you should do this. Especially when you're first starting out, because you're learning the game as you're going.
For sure. Absolutely.
So let me even ask you about like your fashion and stuff like that, because your body is snatched, and you always, when you hit the scene, whether it's a photo shoot or you're out at an event, you are like just like styling and profiling. What are like your favorite designers that you love to wear?
I love streetwear. I love the Fear of Gods, and I have my favorites, of course, Saint Laurent and Balmain, and those brands. But really, I just love feeling good. It doesn't matter, so much of the brand. Is just more how it fits and how it makes me feel. So if I see something, like at a vintage shop, or, something online that isn't necessarily like name brand, but, it has amazing cuts or, whatever, then it's just, I love fashion. I love it so much. I have since I was a kid, and it's probably my second love right under music. And, so it's fun for me. It's fun to, express yourself through your clothes. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. And you definitely like bring it all together with like your music, and it definitely like embodies you, and it represents like who you are. When I look at like what you are, I'm like, that's totally Paloma. Like it just goes. It just goes like so well.
Thank you.
No problem. So let's talk about this other record that's my favorite, that Shit Ain't Cool record, because
yes.
I be feeling that. I be like, and some people just don't get it, that the shit that they do just ain't cool. Did you write that yourself?
I wrote that song with Jizzle, Lady G. She is a writer, artist, and she is like so amazing. And that might be one of my favorite records on the project for sure, because it was my most personal.
Nice. So what brought the concept up? Like, what situation happened that brought this amazing record?
Just being in relationships, going through things in relationships, and I think at that point I had a lot of records, as one of my A&R friends would describe as like, cool records. Like, I had a sit down with one of my friends that's an A&R, and he was like, Paloma, you have a lot of like cool records that we all know that you're cool. Do It Again is cool, Jada's cool, She is cool, but, like, let's hear of your experience and get people to try to connect with you. You've been in a relationship for a long time, and, relate on that level as, situations that you've gone through. So that was kind of the inspiration behind that. And, obviously in the song, I'm just kind of telling, my significant other, I'm not that he is, like, it's not a breakup record. It's just it's not a breakup record. It's a wake up record. It's like, come on, like, you see that I'm down for you. You see that I'm here for you. Like, let's cut the games, or, we got to figure this out.
Right. And that's really a reality record, because so many people, get into situations where they're either in a relationship or they're feeling somebody, and it's like, come on, you know what the situation is with me feeling you, so why not just, like, cut the games? Because it's like, why? This shit ain't cool. Why would you want to play these games? I mean, it's like...
Exactly. And I felt like everybody can relate to that. Men, women, obviously I'm a woman, so I'm speaking to my man, but I feel like men equally, can have gone through the same things. Women and men, we both do things that, can be questionable or out of line. So I felt like, people can definitely relate to that the most.
Right. And I dealt with that type of situation recently, and still kind of am dealing with it myself. And I'm just like, when are you going to wake up? Why are you acting right? Oh, now it's cool? Okay.
Right.
I don't get it.
Exactly.
But I love that. And love that record. Would you want to do a video to that, or can we expect a video for that record?
You can absolutely expect a video from that record very, very soon.
Oh,
and it's going to be very special. I have a special someone in the video. So, yeah, I think that, I was kind of just giving Wet some time to circulate. And, but yeah, we're almost done shooting That Shit Ain't Cool, and it's going to be really dope.
Phenomenal. And you just mentioned Wet, and I was just talking about, like, how, your body is snatched completely. Like, you look good in that video. Do you work out? Like, what is it? Because you're like phenomenally beautiful.
I definitely work out. I have to. I don't overdo it, but I really, especially when it's, go time, it's just really watching what I eat and eating right, eating healthy, and I do a lot of cardio.
Nice. And how are you feeling about the response to that video? Because, I mean, you've been getting a lot of, great feedback on social media. I looked at a lot of the response from the fans, and they love it. How are you feeling about it?
I feel good. I don't really, I'm funny. Like, I when I do videos, I do it, I release it to the world, and then, I might, read a couple responses, but I don't read a lot because I just, I'm a sensitive person, and I feel like, as an artist, you're it's already scary enough because you're putting yourself out there, and that's, vulnerable, and, I really put a lot of, thought and effort, behind all the things that I do, so I just, let it go and hope, just hope that people are, responding positively. But yeah, like I said, everybody that I've spoken to or the comments that I have read for the most part have been really great. So that's rewarding for sure.
Absolutely. It definitely has to be rewarding because, it's a great body of work, and then, get into different, media response as well. I'm sure that's definitely that confirmation right there for you to say, you know what, I'm going to keep this going because this is great.
Yeah, definitely.
So now you said the deluxe version of this, the EP is coming soon. How soon will we get to get this deluxe version?
I don't know. I'm hoping I can get it out maybe by Christmas time, and
Ooh.
kind of, yeah, I think that would be really cool. I have the songs. Well, I have a couple of the songs, couple options. We're still kind of narrowing that down. So, I am working with Empire, and we are trying to figure that out now. But yeah, I think that people could expect it around Christmas time. At least that's what I'm pushing for.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm glad you mentioned Empire because I wanted to ask you about, working with them and being the fact that you're an independent artist. How has that been? Because it's not always easy being an independent artist, but to have that assistance from Empire, how is it?
I love Empire. I love Ghazi. The great thing about Ghazi is he is such a music man, and he really loves what he does. He loves music. He loves, supporting artists, and, is all about, you sticking to, yourself as an artist, and, he just really supports music. So it's been a really great process, I would say, working with him and working with Empire, because I have had total freedom to, do exactly what I want, and just to have somebody, of his stature just be there to support you and be like, okay, this is great, and just give you feedback and push it when it was time to push it has been a blessing for sure.
Absolutely. And the number one question that I've got to know is, when can we expect to hear and see this great music on, on stage and on the tour?
Well, we're working on it right now. I'd like to take it on tour this winter. I think fall is pushing it because we're still, like I said, I got to wrap up doing the deluxe version, and then I have 2 more visuals that we're working on, as well as some other things that I'm working on. But we're definitely working on that. I definitely want to do a Nearly Civilized tour, even if it's small, to come out and perform these records.
Absolutely, because I feel like that would be great for you, because people got to definitely get into your sound and get into you as a person, because you're one independent artist that is seriously on the rise, and if people miss out, they're gonna miss out because you got to go up from here. You're really doing the damn thing.
Thank you.
No problem. So, Paloma, thanks so much again for this interview. It's definitely good.
Yes.
Connecting with you again. I'm so glad that we were able to make it happen, and I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on everything again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
No doubt, no doubt. So tell everybody, before we have you do a drop for us, where they can follow you as far as your social media is concerned.
Yep, all my social media handles are at Paloma Ford. So you can find me on Instagram, Paloma Ford, Twitter, Paloma Ford, and my SoundCloud, Paloma Ford. Nearly Civilized is now on iTunes. And, you know, support the records, request it, get them on these music playlists, Spotify, Pandora. Yeah,